friends, it's Thursday, and today I am doing the dish that I have been waiting to try for 2 weeks now. This was a dish that was suggested to me by Brown Eyed Girl. This is an authentic German dish called Rouladen, and it takes quite a bit of preparation. So it is actually Thursday morning, so I'm going to go ahead and start prepping some things so I can just do a little bit at a time throughout the day. And it does take, I believe, like 2.5 hours to cook. So I want to go ahead and get moving on this project. And I am gonna speed this up for you because one of the things that I need is 1/3 cup of mustard. I have these packets here, so I'm going to open up and use these packets. The only thing that I have in those condiment packs left are this mustard and some soy sauce. And I do have these olive oil packets, but we are using them on a daily basis whenever we're cooking. So, because that's like 1 tablespoon serving that are in those. So, we're getting through these packets, but I'm going to go ahead and speed some of this prep work up for you. I will probably do a separate video for this process because I don't want to put all the details into my Friday night premiere video because that would make the video super long. So I may do a separate video and have just this dish if you guys are interested. So let me know if you are. If you are, I will definitely, post a video maybe next week or something showing how to do this whole process. But okay, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and get going. I'm going to speed this up for you guys. And anytime that I am doing anything of note, I will let you know. Thanks, friends. Okay, friends, so I'm going to do a little bit of some voiceover here while some things are being sped up, just so I can explain what is going on. I'm glad to use up quite a bit of those mustard packets. I didn't use them all up, but I used quite a few up. And the next thing I'm going to do now is go ahead and get my steaks ready and prepared. So I need some things to put inside the steak. So I'm cutting up some red onion here. You definitely can use yellow onion because the recipe actually calls for yellow onion, but I didn't have any, so I have some in the freezer, but I have these red onions fresh, so I'm just going to go ahead and use them. And here I am laying out I used ribeye steaks that I actually, sliced in half, and I'm pounding them out. And here I am adding the mustard. I'm just painting all of the steaks with mustard here. And then we are going to stuff them with the onions and a slice of bacon. And then in the true recipe, it says you're supposed to put a pickle spear in with them in each steak and roll it up. But what I'm using here is this relish that I have in this jar that is almost empty. So I wanted to go ahead and use it up. So I'm going ahead and putting that in inside the steaks to roll them up. Excuse my husband there. He was actually, purposely having his back so nobody could see him, but he was all interested in what I was doing and why I was doing it so early. And I had to explain to him that it was going to take a while. So, okay, I just dusted some salt and pepper on them, and all I'm doing is just rolling them up And then I'm going to secure them with toothpicks, and you can also do twine here as well. But I just figured it would be easier just for me to do toothpicks, so that's what I went ahead and did. And there you get a little close-up look of the steak roll. And I'm just going to do the same thing to these others. And another empty jar. Woohoo! Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and get started on doing the first cook of the rouladen. And I'm also putting some veggies here. You need celery and carrots and onions, and I'm going ahead and cutting up another red onion, and I put in celery that was in my freezer, that was from my garden, and then I found a bag of carrots. I thought I was going to have to skip the carrots, but I did find a bag of carrots in the freezer, so I went ahead and added a cup of the carrots as well. Now, instead of adding just regular garlic cloves, I'm going to go ahead and use this garlic confit that I made because I do want to get that used up, because it does only last in the refrigerator for 2 weeks. So I want to make sure that I use that at every opportunity I can. So I went ahead and cut up several cloves of garlic, and I'm adding just a little more of the oil into the garlic confit to make sure that that garlic is completely covered in oil. And yes, I'm listening to some music here and I'm dancing in a second. Yep, right there. Can you tell what I'm listening to? Oh yeah, Veggies. Yep. I'm sorry, you just can't not dance to Veggies. Gotta love staying alive. And yep, I turn on the wrong burner there. Takes me a while to realize it. Still getting used to this new stove that I received probably about maybe 2 months ago now that I got it, but I'm still turning on the wrong burners because they're in the different spot than what my previous burner was. But I'll get there eventually, I'll notice it. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and get everything started. I'm putting in some of my garlic oil, garlic infused oil. It's a little hot, so took it off the burner. And I'm gonna also go ahead and add in my herb butter. You want them both mixed in there. And along with some more dancing. I don't know what song was on now, but I know it was another good one. And now I'm going to go ahead and put in the rouladens so I can get them browned on all sides. And you don't want to crowd the pan too much. Now, since I had 8 total, I went ahead and just did 4 and 4. And I'm just going to cook these until they get brown on the one side. Then I'm going to turn them and continue to do that till it's brown on all sides. Then I will remove them and brown the next 4. now that I am done with the last 4, it's going to be time to go ahead and put the ingredients into the pot. So first thing I'm putting in is my herb butter there. And here's where we're going to deglaze the pan, you know, and get all those brown bits off the bottom. There was the garlic confit. And we're going to go ahead and add the onions. So we got butter, onions, and garlic in there. It can't get any better than that. And then we're just going to cook these for a couple minutes. Yes, I'm trying to blow the smell to you. If you could only smell it. All right, rest of the veggies go in, which would be the carrots and the celery. So we have carrots, celery, and onions in there. So that classic mirepoix. And we're just going to stir those till they get soft, and then we'll go ahead and add in the 1 cup of a dry red wine. And then we need 2 cups of a beef broth. Now what I did, that was a veggie broth there, because I'm out of beef broth. So I used veggie broth, and then I used this beef bouillon. To add that beef flavor. And that's the better than bouillon. It's a very intense flavor. And then this is 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. Okay, friends, I am going to put the rouladen back in this Dutch oven, and this has completed the first part of the cook. The second part is I'll need to put it in the oven and slow roast it for, I'll slow roast it for about 2.5 hours. It is only 10 to noon right now, so I'm going to go ahead and stop here. Just going to add this in. I'm going to put the lid on it, and I'm just going to let it set there. And then probably around 3 o'clock, I'm going to go ahead and heat it back up real quick on the stove, and then while I'm getting the oven preheated, and then I will roast it for the 2 hours at 300 degrees. You're just cooking it until it's like fall apart tender. Gonna go ahead and nestle all of these in there. Okay, and that's it. Turning off that, and I'm just going to leave that sit here until it's time to go ahead and stick it in the oven, and I'll bring you back later. Okay, so for the side for the rouladen, I figured I would just go ahead and do some roasted potatoes and vegetables. With that rouladen, it's going to create a nice gravy, and so if people want to put gravy on like the potatoes or something, that is fine, but I'm going to go ahead and roast them, season them and roast them on the side. So I'm just going to quick show you what I'm doing. And normally when I roast, I just do salt, pepper, my Italian seasoning blend. But this time I figured, you know, I have all those packets that I wanted to go ahead and use. So I pulled out my seasoning packet, and I'm going to go ahead and use this garlic, herb, and wine seasoning. So, and I have my garlic infused oil here. I've got my garlic confit here, and I pulled out some of my vegetables from the freezer. So I got some red, yellow, and orange peppers here. And then I also pulled out a bag of broccoli. My granddaughter's coming tonight, and broccoli is her favorite vegetable. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. And I'm going to go ahead and pour some of my garlic herb infused olive oil. Just a little bit of that. And I'm going to go ahead and put this seasoning packet on. Now I just looked on the back, and the first ingredient listed is salt, so I won't have to add any salt on this. So I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle this, and I'm going to go ahead and add a few of these wonderful cloves of garlic confit. Sure, everybody will be fighting over them. Okay. Gotta go downstairs and get me some more gloves. This is my last glove that I have up here in the kitchen. Okay, I have all this mixed together, so I'm just gonna go ahead and mix it so all of the veggies and potatoes get covered. Okay. And then when it's time, I'm just going to go ahead and roast these in the oven. The rouladen's going to be in there, and it's at a lower temperature, so I'll just make sure that I put them in plenty of time to give the potatoes a chance to cook. Now I'm going to put the potatoes in first and let them cook until they start to get soft, and then I'll go ahead and add the rest of the veggies. But that will be our side for the rouladen. Okay, now I'm going ahead and removing these rouladens, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the immersion blender, and I'm going to blend all of this up. This is going to make a gravy, and you could take the, good thing I saw that, you want to remove the bay leaf. You could take the vegetables out and serve them as a side, but I'm going to go ahead and just mash it all in there, and then we will add a cornstarch slurry to have it thicken up and get it more gravy-like. That was just 2 tablespoons of sugar. It's supposed to go in the sauce. And now I'm gonna go ahead and put this cornstarch slurry in there. And then you're gonna need 4 tablespoons of cold butter to whisk in the sauce. And of course, I will use my herb butter. Okay, I'm gonna get out my whisk and whisk this until the butter is fully melted, and then we're gonna give it a taste test to see if it needs any salt or pepper or anything like that. Yeah, so there's like this loose piece of meat. I am going to try it. So this is my first time ever even trying it. I've never even heard of this before. So I'm very excited that I tried it, and oh my goodness. Wow. It like just falls apart. And lots and lots and lots of flavor. There are like so many levels of flavor, I can't even describe it. Other than it is absolutely wonderful. Oh, that is so good. Wow, that is really, really, really good. I don't think it needs anything. I mean, I could be wrong because, like I said, I've never had it before, but the seasonings taste good. It doesn't need any more salt. It doesn't need any more pepper. It is just a lovely sauce. It is just so creamy, and this would take it over the top. They say if you like a creamy sauce, to add some heavy cream to it. That would definitely take it over the top. I do not have any heavy cream, so I'm not going to worry about it. But this is absolutely wonderful. So all I'm going to do now, I am going to put the steaks back in it. I'm going to turn my stove as low as it'll go. I'm going to put these back in and cover it, and I'm just going to leave it until it's time for dinner, because I still have to do our veggies yet, and it's not quite dinner time. It's 4:45, and we usually eat about 5:15 or so. So I'm going to go ahead and get these back in there and get the veggies, the rest of the veggies in the oven. So brown-eyed girl, thank you very much for this recipe. It is absolutely amazing. 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 It is what you would expect something that has been cooking all day long and had lots of ingredients, lots of steps to make. It is what you would expect it to taste like. it is delightful. Okay, so I am just going to keep that on low. Put the lid on it. And then I'm going to grab out the veggies. And we will get the rest of the veggies on the tray. Let's see if we are. Yep. Okay, our potatoes are good. Let's put peppers here. And we'll go ahead and put broccoli over here. Okay. And we will stick these in until they're done, probably about 20 minutes or so. And then I will bring you back for a final plate.